We begin today with what should be a moment of relief and joy for everyone, but it might just be something else entirely. Israeli-American hostage Edan Alexander is set to be released today after more than 580 days in Hamas captivity. The IDF has paused its military operations in Gaza to create a safe corridor for the handover. No airstrikes, no drones, no combat maneuvers, according to Israeli officials. Edan will be transferred to the Red Cross representatives somewhere inside Gaza, and from there he will be handed to the IDF, brought to the Re'im base for initial medical checks, and then taken to the hospital. His mother, Yael, is already on a flight to Israel alongside Trump's hostage envoy, Adam Boehler, and the entire country is holding its breath, waiting finally to see Edan walk free. The relationship between Edan Alexander's parents and President Trump began a very long time ago, even before his election, when they prayed together at the grave of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. But there's a catch, a very strange catch. Hamas, the same group that's kept nearly 60 hostages locked in underground tunnels, is giving him up, seemingly for nothing. No ceasefire, no prisoner swap, no food trucks, no diplomatic win, just letting him go, just like that. And in a conflict where everything has a price and nothing comes free, this doesn't exactly sit right. Now people are demanding answers. According to a senior Hamas official speaking to the Associated Press, the release of Edan Alexander was presented as a gift, not to Israel, not to the Red Cross, not to even Edan Alexander himself, but to President Donald J. Trump. And the quote was very strange, to say the least. The Hamas official said, "Trump will give back an even greater gift than the one that we gave him." Now let's pause for a second and be honest. Hamas doesn't do favors. And when they start handing out gifts, it's not because they've had a change of heart and suddenly become good guys. It's because they've expected a payoff. And for them to hand off a major bargaining chip, it must be quite a big payoff. And that's where things start getting murky, and not just murky, but potentially corrupt. Because it turns out that this week, the government of Qatar, Hamas's main sponsor and protector, is reportedly gifting Donald Trump a $400 million Boeing 747 jet. Not leasing it, not selling it, gifting it. And the announcement is expected to happen during his visit to the region this week. This isn't a theory. Trump himself posted to Truth Social that this was indeed true and waved off the skeptics that are standing against it, calling it just Democrat nonsense. Even Trump's critics in Congress are demanding answers. Why is Hamas giving Trump a hostage? And why is Qatar, the country that shelters Hamas leadership and bankrolls the Muslim Brotherhood, giving Trump a luxury aircraft? First, it might seem that they're planning on implanting something in the plane, trackers, explosives, but everyone knows that Trump's security will sweep the aircraft from top to bottom, ensuring that it's safe for the president. But you can't sweep away the optics. It doesn't look good. Everyone agrees on that. Congressman Richie Torres is calling for an ethics review of the gift, and rightfully so. Now, if you're wondering how Qatar fits into all of this, here is the reality. Qatar is the beating financial heart of Hamas. Its capital city, Doha, is where the terror group's top leaders, including Khaled Mashal and Khalil al-Hayya, live in luxury, while the people in Gaza starve. And yet, this is the same regime now being embraced as a partner, a broker, and apparently a gift giver. Just weeks ago, the Trump family business signed a deal to build a luxury Gulf resort in Qatar. Now, the same regime is reportedly giving the former president a jet deemed the palace in the sky, so extravagant it makes Air Force One look like a yellow school bus. And this is all happening while hostages, including American citizens, are still being held by the very terror group that Qatar funds. If Israel received so much as a microwave from Qatar, there would be outrage. The UN would convene, American politicians would scream, but Trump gets a jet. Trump gets a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Trump gets to call it goodwill. And let's be honest, the timing is no coincidence. I must say Qatar is giving a masterclass in playing both sides. The ultimate double agent. Even longtime Trump supporters are starting to feel uncomfortable. Conservative journalist Laura Loomer A staunch Trump ally asked the same question that's now echoing across Jewish and pro-Israel spaces. How can Trump be expected to designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a terror organization if he's accepting jets and closing deals with the people that fund them? Back in 2017, Trump stood at a podium and said Qatar was a funder of terrorism at a very high level. Now today, that very same Qatar is receiving him like royalty, and Trump is all for it, while American hostages are still trapped underground by terrorists who live under Qatar's protection. There's a growing fear that Trump is no longer acting as the bold outsider who once challenged the globalist elite. Now he's looking more like someone cutting side deals with terror regimes, maybe someone whose ego is getting in the way of his principles. You don't accept a gift from Hamas and a private jet from Qatar in the same week unless something else is going on behind the scenes. And if you're still asking why Hamas would suddenly hand over a hostage, this might be your answer. Let's be absolutely clear. Edan Alexander deserves to come home. His family deserves peace. His community deserves closure. He deserves it himself. And if today ends with Edan stepping foot on Israeli soil, we should all give thanks to God. But we also need to ask the uncomfortable questions. Why now? Why this hostage? Why no demands from Hamas? And why does it all line up with Trump receiving a jet, a business deal, and praise from the very country protecting Hamas? This is not about being pro or anti-Trump. This is about being honest. Honest about the cost of power. Honest about what's being traded behind closed doors. Because today, while Edan comes home, 58 other hostages are still underground. And the message being sent, whether we like it or not, is this. If you're an American, if it helps a headline, if there's someone or something, someone powerful, maybe you'll be saved. If not, you stay in the tunnel. This is not how justice is supposed to work, and it's definitely not how leadership should work. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We will be watching, and we won't stop asking questions. For jfeed.com, this has been Overnight Israel. Catch you next time.